Greetings, folks. Cross-train here from Banished again. Today I bring you episode 3 from the village of Limes. Just kind of get you up to date. Let me show you what's happening around Limes, and then we'll run some gameplay here. So, when we last left you in episode 2, we were in the summer of year 18. You can see down here we are now in the early spring of year 25. So 7 game years have gone by. When we left, there were 21 residents of Limes, and things are still a little dicey in terms of my reproductive abilities based on the ages of people in town. You can see here that as of year 25, we are all the way up to 27 residents, 19 adults, 3 students, and 5 children. You can also see that my folks are happy. They're happy in town. We've gone from 3.5 hearts in health to 4. Just a short while ago, we were actually all the way up to 4.5. Let me show you one of the reasons for that. One of the things I've done in the intervening years is I have built the hospital. So we now have a hospital with 0 patients, but I just thought to myself, man, I need to get a hospital built just in case we have some kind of a influenza or something that sweeps through. The way that Limes has gone so far, that wouldn't surprise me. So we did build a hospital, have myself a physician just in case danger comes in. So let me show you what else is going on. Let's walk through the houses, see who's where, and see if our situation has gotten any better in terms of producing babies. Well, look at this. We do have a slightly getting up there couple here, 42 and 44. They have a couple of kids in their house. That's good. We've got this. I don't think our physician is capable of producing any more children at 59, but maybe it's just a relationship of convenience for both of them. I don't know. Here we have a it's a 38 and a 16-year-old, so a student with the hunter. So let's just leave that alone. Here we got a little bit healthier one. Looks like we're going to have some kids coming out of this house here soon. This poor gatherer lives alone. These guys, I don't think, again, at 49, I think it's past the time to reproduce, besides the fact that you get a couple of males in there. So they're probably not going to reproduce, I'm thinking. Maybe they'll adopt, though. At any rate, here's a young family who's producing, and again, this poor guy, Rutherford, never actually found a mate. Although I do suspect, as we look at some of these other houses, that he's got a little going on. So let's go over to this house and see what I'm talking about. This is our, our teacher used to live here, but she doesn't live here anymore. Regardless, we've got some folks here in this house. Not sure if one of these is the dad and certainly the mom, Matthew. I don't know if the dad is in that group. And again, Napoleonidad is getting up there. Here we have a fisherman, and she's got a couple of children with no man. This is maybe Rutherford's hookup. An older gentleman here, and an older female here. So, the situation has picked up in terms of our reproducibility. So, that's a good thing. So, things are just starting to go along nice and swimmingly, and I don't know if you can hear this. Listen. Hear that crackling of wood? That's because just about the time that I decided to start recording again, here's what's going on. I've got a fire going on over here in this pod, and it is in my hunting cabin, which caught fire. So I'm going to go ahead and start the game at this point. We're just going to see how this goes. The good news is, let me just go ahead and start it. I can't do anything about this fire. I've got 3 laborers. I do have a well right here, and they sometimes just take their time with fire. So I'm going to go ahead and get the time started, and we'll let it play out at 1 time speed. But you can see the hunting cabin is on fire. The good news is I don't really have this side of the map working. I do have this Forester's Lodge. And in fact, what I'm going to do is I'm going to shut this down. I'm going to put this Forester back to work as a laborer. So maybe the laborer, maybe they will then end up helping to put out this fire. All I know is that what happens here is while this hunting cabin is in fact burning up, it's got potential to catch fire, set the structures next to it on fire, even though it's raining like heck. It does have the potential to, oh, looks like they're putting it out. See that? They're going to the, oh, sweet. Look at, they're going to the river and getting water and putting that out. Unfortunately, my herbalist lodge just caught fire as well. Good news is I only have 3 fish in my barn, so I'm not going to lose a whole lot of stores when this happens. But yeah, that's a shame, because the herbalist actually is the one that produces the medicine for the hospital. It keeps people healthy. So I'm going to hope that this stays on that side of the street. That's cool. I did not know that these guys could go to the river and get water, so that's good to know. But they are putting this out. It's being severely... Oh, look, and here comes somebody coming in with some more water. Just put that bad boy out. Let's get that out before the Forester's Lodge catches fire, please. Anything that we can save would be fantastic. If we can prevent it from moving across the street. So we're going to keep our eyes on this for a minute. I have... these guys are moving along at superb speed, which I'm not sure why. Oh, darn. Oh. No, so far we're still okay. Okay, well that's good news, because the hunting cabin has now burnt all the way down, and so it's not in danger of spreading any further. I am going to go ahead and rebuild this. And I'll have to I can't remember if laborers or builders do that, but as soon as this fire is put out here and I'm back to being okay, then I'm gonna go ahead and oh shoot, after all that it moved across the dang street. Urgh. So there goes my gatherer's hut over here too, so screw rebuilding this. I'm just gonna reclaim it. I'm just going to let it sit there. I'm not going to rebuild it. I don't need it right now because, quite frankly, my population isn't big enough. That's just too bad. There's no reason for that to have caught fire at that point. And it's kind of a shame, because now I suspect that my Forester's Lodge will in fact go up as well. These two are both burnt, and they're burnt out. That's too bad. So now they're all going to work. These are all my laborers here, going to work, trying to put this gatherer's hut out. I hope it does before the Forester's Lodge goes up. That would be fantastic. Meanwhile, we're doing okay with food, again, for such a small population. Doing okay with firewood and wood. Slowly, I think I've got one miner, yeah, and one stone cutter, or 2 stone cutters, building up our supply of iron and stone. So, other than the fact that just as things are starting to, get a little bit better, I had myself a fire go up over here. That's kind of a drag. But I am hopeful that they put this sucker out before it spreads anymore. You can see what's going on over here. My reserve of food is low. Somebody became a student. Okay. Come on, guys. 2, 3, 4, 5. I got a bunch of people fighting this fire. I'm not even sure who they all are, because Usually only laborers do it, so um, yeah, these fires, for those that are watching, not seen this or not played this game, these fires, really there's nothing you can do. But in hard mode, which is what I'm playing, this is the reason why you have to build wells, which you can see these guys are going to the well, getting water. They're also going to the river, which was kind of cool to see. I did not know that that could happen. Okay, the catastrophe is over now. These guys, this is why you have to use wells. So you'll see throughout the settlement, you know, I've got wells set up so that it's a shorter trip when fires do break out. You see over here too, I've got a future well designated right there. Moving back across here, I've got a well among my houses here. I've got a well among these houses here before the tornado of year 9 came in. And if this town ever gets back to where it was, I'm going to be putting some more houses out here as well. So you want to have these wells distributed throughout the your village just to fight fires just like this. So now we're going to go back here. I am going to put this thing back to work, and I'm going to put one more forester back on the job. I want him in this place. There you go. So I will have a forester come back in here. I am going to rebuild each of these because eventually it's going to be important that we have them built. Now, here's the other thing that I can do. I can prioritize, so I can say I want you to prioritize this work first, because I do. Okay, I've got medicine, I've got 73 on hand, which is enough to sustain us for a little bit, but in the meantime, I do want this to be rebuilt. So I'm not sure if builders do this or laborers, so I'm going to put a couple of laborers or builders in there and have them come over. And what they'll do, again, what they do when something is burned down like this is, as you saw when I clicked on them, I can either reclaim them or I could have rebuilt them. If I want to reclaim them, that just gathers some of the materials, not all of it, but you can get some of the material back that went into building it, and they'll just pile it up and then they'll put it on a stockpile like this for you to use elsewhere. They'll do the same thing if you rebuild, but they'll just turn around and put that right back into the building that they're rebuilding. So that was kind of a bummer, but certainly not certainly not catastrophic. The good news is, A, the Foresters Lodge did not go up in flames, so that's okay. And again, the rest of the good news is I didn't have much in here. In fact, now I've got nothing. They just came and got all the fish out of it. Hey, we just had another kid. So we are now at 28. So nothing was lost in storage, unlike when the tornado came through. And then nobody was working in these other places anyway. So it wasn't, as big a catastrophe as it could have been. So here you see I've got a builder in here, and they are in the process of, you can watch if you select it, you can see that I think it's a she. Yep, she is demolishing it. She is a builder, so I'm going to take all my laborers off, make them all builders. And she's doing the building that I prioritize. So she will do this building, and then they'll move on to these other two after they're done. So they'll demolish all of it. There'll be some materials there. They'll probably pick it up, put it on one of these stockpiles here, and then they'll turn around and put them into the ground as well. So this wasn't terribly catastrophic, but still, I didn't want to have fire go on. So again, what do we got? We got another kid born, so we're up to 29 residents. Okay, that's looking good. I like to see that. Now, this is what I was working on, in fact, when this fire hit. I'm gonna I'm going to show you what I'm working on, what I was thinking about. I was already doing future expansion. So what I'm going to want to do is I'm going to want to bring this straight out to here. So now I know where it is. I am going to build a bridge from here to here. I don't want to actually build the bridge. I'm just doing planning. So I can plan this out, lay it right there, and let that sit as it is. I don't want to build the roads because my laborers will actually go and build the roads, and I don't want that to be like their primary thing that they're doing. And so I'm just going to lay this all out. But you can see that this will come to here. What my plans are, and I'll do this off video so that well, some of you might be interested in all this. My plan is to build another hub right out in this area because it's just about a perfect. If I let's see, if I go down here and I put a forester, there's my forester lodge. Yeah, see, that's just about a perfect size. That yellow circle fits everything right in there. That's about perfect size, that little bowl. So I'm going to create a little hub here, just similar to the hubs I talked about in episode 1. It'll be very similar to this. It'll have a forester's lodge. It will have a hunting cabin. It will have a gatherer's hut. It will have a storage barn, since it's a long ways away from things, and it'll have a stockpile like this so that they don't have to travel to put their stuff down. So you can see they've gone to work now demolishing these other buildings, which they will work on, and then eventually they will begin to rebuild them as well. So they'll have to put 30 logs back in, 12 stone, and then build it for the herbalist hut and all of that stuff. So they'll start to rebuild it as well. So this is going to be another gatherer's hut, and then what I will do eventually is this is kind of a cool feature here, and I don't remember. Let's see if it's a tunnel. So you can see that I can then build a tunnel through the mountain. Because what I'm going to do, I'm going to also pause that. This is for future. What I will also do is to support this area, I am going to build another settlement, houses, market, all that stuff over in this valley. And perhaps even in this valley as well. So this is the way that I'm going to expand eventually if this town survives, which it looks like it'll survive now unless we have another disaster come along. But if this town survives, I will probably use one of these areas to put some farms, some orchards, so that I can grow some crops and all that kind of stuff. But I'll use this area over here as my what I like to do is to make sure that I spread out my residences, my housing hubs, if you will, so that if in the event of a natural disaster, then hopefully it won't wipe out my whole population. So I will be using this area, this part of the map here, to expand in. I'll set this hub up here in a little while. But I did want to come in. Let's see, they've got this all taken care of. Now I think what I need to do is actually put these guys back on as laborers, because, and then I'm going to just take and I'm going to prioritize this whole area. So now they should come back as laborers and put the wood and the stone that they need in each of these to get it up to speed. So they'll start working on that, and I'll bring the results back to you next time. So let me one more thing before we scoot. The other thing that I did since you last joined me here is we created a place for our church. Okay, in order to impact our happiness The people want to worship. So we have our location of our church right next to the hospital, and directly across what will eventually be our town hall here as well. So that's going to be coming in the next little bit. So I am going to go ahead and end this video. You can see it's telling me my food is low, and it sure is. But I think I could take, I only have one woodcutter, which is perfectly fine. And I should have, over here, I should have one of my foresters working over here. Yeah. And one working on the other side. So you can see as these guys, they haven't started working yet, but so what they're doing right now is they're picking up stuff from where we emptied it out here, putting it on the stockpiles, and then she's just going to go ahead and pick it back up. You watch what she does. She's going to come back and she's going to put it in one of these slots like this one. So you see that we now have 30 of 30 logs in here. She'll need to get 12 stones now and put those in there, and then builders can come in and build the house itself. So you can see she's bringing stone here. You can watch what happens when she drops it in there. So she's dropped 6 of 12 stones in here. So very soon, yeah, there she goes. She just picked up some more. This should be the last of the stone that she'll need. No, 9. So they need to go get some more stone from, well, they could just pick this pile up here, but no, they're not smart enough for that. Sometimes they just leave stone sitting around like this. So anyways, that's what they'll do, and then I'll rebuild those as well, and just get that rolling. You can see what's going on here. Here's my fisherman, I believe. Yep, there's my fisherman. She's probably going to get something to eat right now, I'm guessing. Going to get something to eat. Yep. And then she'll come back and she'll go to work. She's fishing for me and adding to our food supply. So things are going along pretty well. The fire was manageable, certainly within the confines of this this village, because it was in an area that wasn't really being utilized. So that worked out about as well as any fire does in this game. But fire is one of those natural disasters you have to deal with in this game. And I was just fortunate at that time that it was over here in the middle of nowhere. So I'm going to go ahead and cut this video now, and I will be back with episode 4 when we make a little bit further progress. I'll bring you updates every once in a while when I've got something to update. We are in year 25 now. We are in the summertime, and so I'll be back in a couple of game years to share with you what's going on next. So until next time, this is Cross Train from Banished, and I will see you in the wilderness. Peace.